mostly of the time the police gets corrupted and you don't get like the driving license of you.
It's like this giant tower in a city where most buildings are like so far below it.
Police investigator was like forcing 6 people to admit a crime that probably they have never done.
Compared to all over the world that I've lived, danger is also a relative thing. All right, there's a lot of sunlight, but where are we going? Let me get on this side of you.
We can go to the lake of Tirana, artificial lake, because it's not natural, but I mean it's the only greenest, real greenest part of the city, and it's beautiful. So
I like it a lot, actually.
I mean, if you are expecting to see in this video like really dangerous and slums, Tirana don't have those, so
no. But this is
we are real. We can do like clickbait, like, oh, this is really dangerous, they are smuggling weed, but actually it's not that true. But
yeah, I mean, I would say this, like, compared to all over the world that I've lived, danger is also a relative thing. Like,
yep, I mean,
you know, it depends on the country. Like,
depends on the country, and I mean, if you see your job and you do your own thing, nobody will have problems with you.
So like in Vietnam, like people are like, is it safe? And it's like, the answer is definitely no, because you could fall off a motorbike and get killed super easily, or get hit by a bus. But like the actual physical danger of someone trying to rob you is very safe.
Also, driving in Albania is really dangerous,
well,
because Albanians are really, are really bad. Not bad, they are really good, but they are like crazy drivers, and they don't respect the rules, and it's.
So that, in that way it is dangerous, but like it's not dangerous in like a physical violence.
No,
like,
it's not. I mean, you can have an accident even if you even if you drive in a like so sophisticated USA highways, but
bro, our highways people die all the time.
Yeah, probably more than in
because our highways they can pick up higher speeds.
Yeah, and they are not careful enough, because like in the most dangerous streets, I mean, the driver is so careful and he drives carefully, and the accidents happen less.
See, the only things that I've seen here is like boy racer types flying down the street, like at a super high speeds, like where there's neighborhoods.
That's something really bad.
Where there's like families around.
Another thing is that mostly of the time the police gets corrupted, and you don't get like the driving license of you.
Right.
If you took money of them under.
So I see, okay.
But
so
this is mostly like happens in all the Balkan, I think.
Bro,
you should get used if you want to experience the real Balkan.
It happens in the majority of countries in the world, bro. You'd be very surprised.
Yeah, I'm sure for that.
There's this idea that even in the developed countries that there's not corruption. There's extreme corruption.
I mean, yeah, it just
depends.
I mean, it's 20%, but here it's like 90%.
I don't know. I think America, we're going backwards, not forwards, man. We're trying to become a developed country.
Yes, I mean, you get your like, let's see, like your vision of video, I do mine, and we collaborate. And this is, I have also made another collaboration with some vloggers from England, and cool. I said them, I mean, it will be much better if you do your own stuff, my own stuff, because everyone has its individuality. I know, I mean,
we don't actually have a plan. We're just gonna record fucking everything.
Yeah, but
later on edit it.
You know, I was. So guys, we are just filming it randomly. I mean, we don't have a plan, and this is the best thing, because we are experiencing the true life, let's say, in Albania and Tirana.
This is the real life.
And we are entering the lake park.
You're in it.
And yeah, we are in it. This is just the start. And I just wanted to ask you, what opinion do you have about the president of the United States?
Oh, I don't really like him, but I don't really like the last one either.
I mean...
I'm not a fan of the American political system. That's why I don't live there.
I mean, I was like, nobody... I don't think they are intelligent enough to...
I just think it's like a big revolving door where they just keep switching the head of the monster.
Yeah,
and the monster is the same, but the face looks different.
Yep, I mean...
that's just me. Like, I just choose not to live there because...
For example, if you ask in Albania or in Kosovo, if you go for Bill Clinton, like, they will say, you have also the... one of the main squares in Pristina in Kosovo is named after Bill Clinton. So
sure. Yeah. But you have to understand that these guys...
because they helped out on war, so...
These guys are complicated figures, man. Like, you know, you have domestic policy, foreign policy. When you look at a president, you're not looking at a president, you're looking at an administration.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
you know?
president is just the people that we look at, but after it, it's all the country or administration that works.
When I was in the States, the one thing that I learned comparatively to living in China and Vietnam was that in America, the corporations control the government. So no matter who you vote for, you're voting for Apple, you're voting for, you know, big pharmaceutical companies.
I'm sure for that.
Especially
weapons
manufacturers.
Manufacturers now that COVID has started.
But weapons manufacturers, this type of thing. Whereas when you're in China or Vietnam, the state has the monopoly power. So it seems like it's just kind of the same shit, just different
also
story.
In Albania, it's the government that have like the monopoly and administrate everything.
But I would imagine that strong holding, like corporate holdings, have a lot of power too. I mean, because there's got to be people here who are investing a lot of money and they're going to have a lot of sway over society.
Well, in Albania, basically doesn't function. I mean, also in Balkan, the government controls like mostly everything.
Okay. But who are the big like companies? Who are the companies that have like most of the investment property here? Or?
I mean, Vodafone, which is Vodafone, yeah.
Yeah, that's again the corporations.
T-Mobile, which is German-based company that are telecommunication.
We have them in America.
I mean, yeah, the internet now are doing a lot of jobs, a lot of works, and are getting like a lot of workplaces here in Albania because it's getting more and more common.
Tell me, bro, this is a global system. You can be in any country. It doesn't matter if they call themselves capitalist, if they call themselves communist. Everybody plays in the same market.
Yeah,
and if you get cut out of it, you're fucked.
Yeah,
you know?
That's true.
But look at North Korea, man. Like, that's what happens when you don't participate.
You have visited North Korea, no?
No, bro.
Would you like?
I would when the country opens, actually. Like, if there will be a point, hopefully at some point, where this country opens. Because then I think it would be a tremendous opportunity. But until that day, no.
I mean, I would like to visit it anyway.
Well, I have a U.S. passport, so it's like infinitely more dangerous for me than it would be for you.
I can go there. I'm Albanian. I came from a communist country. Okay, come in.
Yeah,
come in.
Well, no, I mean, like it's just you just why take the risk with the U.S. passport because they have a history of grabbing.
The man that died in North Korea won a beer. I don't know.
I remember. He's like a German name. He had
like a German. He was like half German, half U.S.
Well, I think he was American, but like with a German name, just the name.
No, I think his mother.
Was she?
Yeah, it was really from Germany, but emigrating so early in the United States.
Oh, I see. I didn't know.
Anyway, he was killed there.
He took the poster, right?
I mean,
well, they say he did.
Yeah.
Whether he did or he didn't.
I mean, also in the communist Albanian. You know, nothing was proved. They told you have done this and you have to accept it.
It's a little bit the same in America, though.
Today morning, because you couldn't come, I was in Bunkart.
Oh yeah, I want to go. I had a cleaning.
You can go. Yeah, you can go. You should definitely go there, and you can do it by yourself because it's easy to go around there.
You know, it's a little bit the same in our system in the States, man. There's this idea that you get a trial and all this shit, but the reality is, if you don't have the money to afford the private lawyer, you just get fucked. You take what's called a plea deal.
It's like until proven innocent.
Most people just admit to being guilty, but they can't afford to go to trial.
Yeah, I understand. I mean,
and when they'll give them an attorney for free, but it'll be the worst fucking attorney you can imagine.
I mean, like yesterday night, I was back in my home, so I mean, I have like 2 or 3 months that I'm traveling around, and I was like, oh, I can relax some a little bit, and I was seeing on YouTube program, I mean channel, was an unexplored case, unsolved case. I don't know the right name.
Like like some like TV drama about like cases they didn't never solve.
And then I was showing an episode that has happened in Iceland. You know,
right? Civilized country.
Yeah, civilized and like one of the best countries. Calm. The criminal things are low there, below, let's say 0, and they show like the police investigator was like forcing 6 people to admit a crime that probably they have never done it, and finally they get like 20 years in prison. And I say,
even in a country like Iceland, it's happening.
Iceland is. I was like, one of my biggest dream, because Iceland is really expensive, is to visit Iceland, and I was okay. Now I'm seeing this.
See, that's exactly why I don't want to visit Iceland, because it looks beautiful, but I'm not paying $60 for like a burger. You know,
that's true. That's totally true.
It's just insane, you know.
It's really expensive.
I don't know. Maybe I should apply for any biological congress or things.
I heard if you work there, it works out. Like if you're earning the local.
I mean, if you live,
Yeah.
if you live in Iceland, you gain like $10,000 per month, so you can live there easily. It's not that expensive.
Is that like the share of the natural gas and oil? Like,
yeah, I mean.
Right. Interesting. I didn't know that.
And you know that one from 3 person in Iceland is like a book writer.
Oh.
Yeah, they write books.
Well, I mean, listen, I think if I was there, I'd be focused on creativity too. I mean, you have so much free time.
Yeah, you have so much free time. You have like a really good quality, high payment. So
I lived in New Zealand for a long time. I have residency there, and people think that New Zealand's a country like that, but because it has that kind of American neoliberalism, like you just work to live in a shack, basically. Like you pay a lot of money to live a really low quality of life.
Really?
Yeah, the houses are the houses aren't insulated. Some of them are up to like shocking, like third world standard housing.
Yeah, they have very
Like-
low housing standard there.
And the cost
Yeah.
of everything is absurd. Like even though you look at your salary and you think, oh man, I'm making okay money, when you look at how expensive like a green pepper is like $5.
in which city you have lived in?
Wellington.
Wellington,
in the
our
yeah.
capital. So
Yeah, the
Well, if you go back to our early videos, our very, very first videos, they were all in New Zealand.
okay,
And,
I definitely will see them because I'm interested to know more like a realistic opinion about New Zealand.
And I was not loving it. When I went back to Thailand, bro, I kissed the ground. I was so happy to be back in Thailand. Yeah, but it's just so much more of a better bargain for your money and like lifestyle for your money. You know, but in Thailand, I was paying like $250 a month for an apartment with a view.
I mean, that's life. We have only life. It's not that long, so we need to live life.
Exactly. And in New Zealand, I was paying that a week for a shed to live in a shack. You know.
I mean, also when I were in Switzerland, like for a 10 square meters room, let's say, because it's not an apartment, you should pay like 1,000 Swiss francs, 1,200 Swiss francs per month. But I think definitely it was a good thing.
We're gonna go walk up a little bit along the lake.
Yeah,
and then
this
homeboy's
is
gotta
like
go get a test. You're getting a PCR test.
Yeah, I'm going to.
Where are you going?
I hope I can pass the border because COVID it's messing everything up.
Macedonia?
Not Macedonia. Don't need the PCR test, but I want also to go to Greece.
Okay, so for Greece he needs it.
I mean, if they see, okay, this is Albanian passport, you have a negative PCR test, go back. I don't need you.
Right.
Yeah, you know, like the nationalism and the hating part of Balkan, it's like super
That sucks.
big.
That sucks. Why the Greeks?
But also,
Don't the Greeks give you a hard time getting in? Is that generally?
yeah, but look, I mean, Albanians are mostly known as. I mean, a lot of Albanians like violent. They are friendly dogs,
street dogs.
street dogs, but they are good.
They're well.
They
looked
always
after.
like petting with people that going here, passing here. And you know what? The nationalism in Balkan is really high, but in Greece lives like a lot of Albanians that have emigrated, and also in around 1920, has been like, let's say, a genocide, but nobody accepts that in the southern part of Albania, which is Chamaria.
Okay.
Can you pronounce it?
Chamaria.
Yeah, you're excellent.
I'm from an Italian family.
Really?
The language in Albanian is different, but it has some similarity.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
some of the sounds, some of the accents sound a little similar. Like
And you speak Italian?
No, but I grew up in an Italian-speaking family, so I heard it a lot. And my neighborhood was a lot of Italian people. So
Yep.
And I do speak Italian. But
I mean,
at a
Brooklyn
basic
has
level.
been all for Italian. So
Yeah, but I do speak Italian, but it's at a pretty basic
I also speak, but better understand Italian. I understand very well, and I can speak some, but not very good.
I speak mostly Vietnamese. That's probably the second language.
Yeah,
I
because
speak
you
the
have
most.
practiced it.
Yeah.
I mean, when I were in Switzerland, and before I was attending a German school, and I was speaking and understanding German language, like not very well, but okay. I could communicate with Germans. Nowadays, I have like more than 3 years without practicing, and I found really difficult to
communicate German.
To communicate German. Yeah, I can understand it if someone speaks, but I can't replace it. And
I'm interested in picking up Russian. Because
I mean,
it's a lot of countries that
you
it
know-
can work for. It can work for the
Yeah.
Ukraine. It can work for Belarus.
and
like,
if you see bold and bankrupt
well, look
videos,
at how many countries open to him.
Yeah,
Georgia.
I mean, this is like also what people think for Albania, that it's not an open country, people are not friendly, but I think that in Eastern Europe you will find the friendly people.
They are. They're
I mean,
really good here so
I have
far.
been to Italy. Italians are somehow like Albanians. I mean, we have the same temperament, the Mediterranean countries, we like fun and we are communicated, friendly.
Sure.
But if you go in countries like Switzerland, Germany, England,
Right.
you say, okay, they are talking about Albanians or Eastern countries that they are dangerous, that they are not friendly, and they are like totally unfriendly.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Very cold.
See-
Yeah, they are totally cold. But here in Eastern Europe, I mean, even if you go in Albania now, said you don't have to sleep. You knock on the door, and the lady or the man in the house will say, "Okay, come sleep to me." He will feed you up. But this thing never happens in developed countries, I think.
Well, no, it depends on the country. Like, the U.S. is so big, man, that like each part of it has kind of its own flavor, its own kind of culture. And like
Yeah.
there are places in the country where people are friendly, but sometimes it's a superficial kind of friendly. Like, for example, there's places where people will be polite to you, but they're
Yep.
not really interested in knowing you, and they don't actually give a shit about you.
I mean, an Albanian guy will ring like a million times, ring, 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 ring,
Yeah,
and
or they'll
not
just go
appear.
around
Yeah.
you. I noticed.
Yeah.
They're not gonna fucking bother with you.
And
but
then
some
have an
American guy gotta
accidental-
tell you how he feels. You know, oh, that's my point. There's parts of the country, bro, where there's really shitty people in America, and there's parts where there's really decent people.
Yeah, I
It's-
mean-
it's just big country. You know?
I mean,
like-
in the whole world, you can find good people and nice people, and also bad ones in every country, I think.
yeah, exactly. And I think that in a small country,
I
like
mean,
this,
you should rent an apartment when this is
oh,
finished.
in these new ones, show me. Show
Yeah.
them. I don't know
I
if you
mean,
can see
like,
the sunlight.
It's pretty sunny, but this building here.
it's under construction.
We'll get a little closer, and we should be able to see it.
Yeah, this is like a controversial plot because I mean, before this mayor of Tirana, nowadays it's Arion Velia, it's a guy,
Okay.
was another one, and they were like, we will never let people to build in this part of the city.
Right.
Yeah, and they go after, and the mayor that came after him, they say the same thing. Never, we will not let. And nowadays, I mean, look, they just let 50-story buildings there.
Okay, I see what you're saying. I mean, this is unfortunately happening, like I was saying before, about how the global economic system, like, you go to almost
Yeah.
any place in the
I
world.
mean, okay,
and they're
global,
putting this
but when
ugly shit
corruption,
up.
you took like $1 million in your pocket to let them
To
build
let them
there.
build
so-
it. Yeah, but I'm telling you, the same thing is happening everywhere.
Yeah, I mean,
In Vietnam, they built this building. It's 81 stories tall. and
just a small one.
it does not fit the city at all. It makes no
What's
sense.
up, guys?
You know, it's like this giant tower in a city where most buildings are like so far below it.
Yeah.
It just looks dumb. But why did it happen? Because a big corporation had money and they bribed the government, so it happened. you know?
I think also in USA maybe things like this happen,
course,
and
of course.
in all the world. But
But China and Southeast Asia are worse because they'll build whole cities even with no fucking buddy living there. Because it's all a way to make the economy look good.
also the Ashgabat, the Turkmenistan capital.
Oh my God, I can imagine.
That's the worst part because they build like $2 billion building, and like only 10% are occupied by people or people that live there.
Yeah, that's interesting to me. Like,
I mean, like, I really would like to visit countries like Turkmenistan, Kyrgyzstan.
I want to go to Kyrgyzstan. I was looking at it for a long time, bro.
You like to go to Tashkent?
I think Tashkent would be interesting. You know, there's teaching jobs in Tashkent.
I mean,
there's
yeah.
an ESL market there, and they actually pay like not so
you
bad.
like also to visit Mongolia?
I would, but I'm very turned off by the worst air pollution in the world.
Well, yeah, that's one of the worst because now they are also building a lot of, have a lot of construction work in Mongolia's capital, which is, Ulaanbaatar, yeah. And this is the most high altitude capital in Europe. I mean,
well, not Europe, it's Asia. It's big time Asia.
I mean, yeah, it's Asia, but sometimes they are, due to the Soviet times,
they're culturally
considered
European,
like Europeans.
But it's funny because I have connections for jobs in Inner Mongolia, which is China.
Yeah, Mongolia, I mean...
There's Mongolia, then there's Inner Mongolia. Inner Mongolia is in China, and it's like the capital city is called Hohhot. And I actually have connections for jobs out there for people. So if somebody did want to go spend some time in Inner Mongolia, you'd be right in the right spot to visit those places, you know. But out of all of China, it's one of the lower paying areas, but it's also one of the areas where the government isn't so strong.
Yeah.
So they can get away with doing things that like you couldn't get away with in other parts of mainland China. But
I mean, probably the strongest, let's say, police state in China or province is the Uyghurs one.
Oh yeah, Xinjiang. Oh,
Xinjiang, yeah, it's totally disaster.
I heard it's a dystopian police state, like out of a nightmare.
I mean,
I've only been to 2 cities. I've been to Xi'an and Qingdao. And I liked both of them, but both of them still felt way more too intense. It's the same way I feel in America. The government is too fucking strong. I like being in a country where, yeah, okay, maybe it's a little bit fucked up, but you're not like being constantly controlled, you know?
I mean.
Like here you have a certain element of freedom here. Like maybe they're not gonna do a whole lot for you, but they're also not gonna do a whole lot against you. Like,
yeah, I understand.
You kind of have freedom to move around a little, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's okay to have, I mean, freedom is the most important thing, but also in the Uyghur province, I'm feeling bad because they are like deporting people and trying to replace them with Chinese. Yeah,
it's terrible what they're doing. But it's unfortunate. Like a lot of these countries, man, humanity is dark, bro. People do not treat each other well, man. And I hope that, you know, by us helping people travel and check out new countries, that
new
we can
cultures,
introduce.
yeah,
exactly. We can introduce people.
I mean, also people that live like in Germany, in developed countries, can value the life that they have.
And look at this, guys. It's a beautiful place. You may never have even heard of Tirana, but you're starting to think about it. And look how nice this is, man. Look what a chill environment. I mean, and you know, most people would never have even given this a chance because they never heard of Albania.
Probably.
You know, so we want to show you what it's really like to meet people in these different countries and, you know, bring you guys like an authentic experience. So we're going to keep doing it. And I want you guys to check out Don Tom's channel.
Yep.
Spell it for him.
Don Tom. D-O-N?
Yes.
T-O-M.
T-O-M.
It's okay because I'm not that good in spelling English.
Two words. Yeah. And he does Albania content, but he does a lot of other places too.
Yep. Basically in Balkan, because now, I mean, pandemic, you can travel freely in the whole the world, but I hope I can do better and more content from other countries.
So I want you guys to subscribe, check them out.
Yep, thanks, bro. But
no,
I mean,
please.
you know, I mean, I have been discovering Albania and traveling, and I'm like, I need like more 2 or 3 years to explore the whole country.
Oh man!
And I definitely would go to Kosovo soon, North Macedonia, because you know it's not like Albanian diaspora. I mean, they are Albanian lands, but they have been splitted by big powers.
Right.
Yeah, and that's the worst thing. And I mean, imagine a country that have like 48% of Albanian population in it. It's North Macedonia, and they are a different country. They don't live with their motherland, let's say.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting.
Kosovo, yeah. I mean, what's the point of having Kosovo as a country? I don't want, and I don't do politics because totally I hate politics. I don't think that they are the right thing, but they are all Albanians. They live in a different country. What's the meaning of it? I don't get.
Yeah, no, I hear you, and I heard it's 95%.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
the whole population have been,
the whole thing.
also they have been like the government, let's say in some Serbian municipalities that the Yugoslav, in that time, the Yugoslav, let's say, country or government brings employees from Serbia to control the Albanians in Kosovo enclave, let's say, or Dardania, because it's not Kosovo. Kosovo is the slave name, but the Slav name.
You guys call it
Dardania, yeah.
Dardania.
That's you know, the Albanian history. I mean, the Balkan. It's not that I'm Albanian, but the Balkan has been populated by Pelasgan and Illyr population, and that has been the Albanians nowadays. I mean, Illyrians have been Albanians. No Greek has been here, and I mean also the Greek historians. I mean, some, not the nationalists, but some of them told the same thing, because Greek has been like in Peloponnese Peninsula, which is not in Balkan exactly, and the Slavs came from Carpats mountains, from Russia back to Balkan, and they weren't here in Balkan. So mostly of population, I mean 90% of Balkan population have been Albanians, Ilian and Pedlask, and they lived like in principates. And every prince have their own land, or
like principalities.
Principalities, I think, yes.
Like little kingdoms.
Like little kingdoms, let's say. And the one king that I'm sure that you have heard is Skanderbeg.
Of course.
Yeah, I mean it's legendary leader and general. What did he do? He also freed his country and, let's say, from Ottoman Empire. He won all the battles, but also helped Europe, the Christianity, to be unoccupied by Ottomans.
Christian Europe respected him a lot.
Yeah, a lot. And I'm also in Argentina. You have like a monument of Skanderbeg that I was surprised. Yeah, because in Argentina I have a lot of people that lives, Albanian people that lives. They are called Albanians have been also living in some parts in Italy, in northern, in like Trieste, and also southern, in Sicilia, and they are called Arbores, and they have emigrated to Argentina when the Italians started to emigrate. Yeah,
well, that makes sense.
And that makes sense.
That does.
And I mean, this was the first kingdom that unify all the kingdoms, small kingdoms of Albania, and then they were like principalities. In north was Dardania. We have like Dalmat, that is nowadays Croatia, and they are like, Albanians and Croatians like brothers. They say
like Dalmatian,
yeah,
like the dogs.
yeah, Dalmatian. They are. That's the name, or the breed name has started from the Dalmat. And the island over there. Also, you have like Epirus in the southern part, which nowadays it's part of Greece. And I mean, when Albanians gained independence, all these parts of Albania, they were the big powers. I mean, you will gain the independence, but you need to pay off for it. I want, for example, the British wants, we want some part of Albania for Greece. Let's took like 15,000 kilometers, I said you before. And the Albanians, on the time of Skanderbeg, let's say the Albanians was around like 80,000 square kilometers, the whole country. In 1912 it was like 69 kilometers, and now that Albanian is an independent countries, you have like only 28,000 kilometers country, like one third of 1912 country.
You can see why the Balkans has so much drama.
I mean, this will never happen or will never end, because you have Albanians, like half of the population of North Macedonia are Albanians, and they have lived. Nowadays they live a little bit better, because the people that sees my channel and are from Albanians from North Macedonia, or that lives in North Macedonia, like tell me, you have to come here, please show how we live. We have lived like miserably and with no rights, because they were Albanians, and the Yugoslavs and the Serbian kingdom in that time was like saying you don't have rights, you don't go to government. But nowadays the North Macedonian people are more afraid from Albanians, because they are ideas of greater Albania, in Balkan. And after the Kosovo gained independence, it's like they are afraid if Kosovo goes and gets with Albania, one country, and they don't want it, because I mean, who wants to get the neighborhoods better than him, because it means. But also I think we live now in different times, and the peace is the right thing, Well, it will not have peace if this thing doesn't go right. I mean, you have like I said before, you have the champs in the Chamaria, or the southern part, that Albanian has been till Preveza. For example, we can say that the Mustafa Ataturk, which has been the father of Turkish country, modern Turkish country, was with Albanian descent. He was Albanian, and his born house was today in Selanik, or today is Thessaloniki, which is in Greece. I mean, how can he born there if he were an Albanian? I mean, that has been an Albanian city, now it's not. And a lot of people that have lived there were deported. I mean, they wanted just the justice. I mean, and also if you check the Vatican, but the Vatican documents, they were like, Mother Teresa, which has been Albanian, and I mean, probably the greatest humanitarian people of all time. I don't know. You have known?
Oh, of course I know who
and she
is
born in Skopje, in North Macedonia. And in Vatican documents, it was right, born in Skopje, Albania. I mean, Vatican, it's one of the strongest place in the world, so they can go wrong.
Well,
with
I
this.
found that crossing the border was not that hard. Like the cooperation between the countries seemed good.
Nowadays it's much better.
It
You know,
seemed good.
like North Macedonian, due to the final census, that the population census that they have done and calculation, like 47 to 48% are Albanian, and if they don't want to live in peace, I mean, half of the country is Albanian,
it
so
has
you
to
have
be.
to collaborate.
Yeah, you have to learn how to talk to
Yeah,
each
you have
other.
to learn how to collaborate.
I'm happy that that's happening, that it's better.
Yeah, that's better.
good.
It's always better than war. I
Yeah,
mean,
I agree.
in 1999 in Kosovo had a terrible war, and
Yeah, and like-
a lot of genocides goes on, but
That's why I want to visit though, because I'm really into history, so
Yeah,
visiting
I mean-
Kosovo would be interesting for me.
I think you have to visit the Ademja Shari monument, which is has been one like from 69 people that lives in that family, and they were like UTK, I don't know, I think it's an Albanian letter, but it's okay. I don't know to pronounce in English. And key leaders or the commanders of the Kosovo Revolutionary Army, and they were like 69 person, like family, kids, women that
Right,
lives in their
killed.
house. 68 were killed from Serbia. Yeah, I mean,
Okay. I don't know much about it, but I'll just say
yeah,
that
you
it's-
should check on the internet, and you should definitely visit
definitely
that. I
check
mean,
it
that's
out.
the true flavor of Balkan. I mean, Balkan have so much to offer: beautiful countries,
Yeah, look at
nature,
this.
but also the history of it. It's part of history, and I mean, we have to change it. If you don't look to your what you have experienced, you can have a bright future.
I
We
agree.
don't even have now.
Well, guys, we like it so far. We're happy. We're really happy here.
It's 7. I mean, I have to go now,
I'll see
but
you, brother.
bro,
It was real. Oh,
it
subscribe
was
to
so
my
so.
man's channel.
Yeah, it was like a big pleasure.
And let's do this again,
Yeah.
bro. Thank you for teaching us, man.
Yeah, I mean, we'll find the time, we'll communicate.
I would
If you
love to.
need something, just write to me, because I will start to
Definitely.
work, and after that I will travel for my biological work a lot. And even if not I'm here there, you know, you have my contact.
I
so,
do. We'll
yep.
do it. All right, guys.
You can contact for everything you need.
Brush
Okay,
your
so
teeth. What do you think of when you think of Albania? I think of opportunity. I think of a country that's open. I think of a country that wants long stay expats, that wants people to come and invest, wants new ideas, and is looking towards the West. I think that Albania is a beautiful country with incredible landscapes that can offer a very comfortable lifestyle at a very reasonable price. We will help navigate your journey to becoming an expat in Albania. We're working with some of the top lawyers. We can help establish businesses. We can help you get your residency. We can help you get real estate. We can arrange almost any contact that you might need for the process of moving here in almost any city in the country. We will simplify the process. We'll make it a lot easier for you to move to a country that maybe in the past would have been more of a challenge. With our help, it's going to be a walk in the park.
Brush your face and wash your teeth, son.
Hey, what's up? I'm D from Canada. Hook up with the New York Nomad if you want a smooth ride into Vietnam or any Southeast Asian countries.
Hey, my name is Aaron. Get in contact with the New York Nomads. If you want to get into Vietnam, hit them up. They'll get you in securely and professionally.
Yo, this is Uncle Hollywood. I'm telling you right now, the New York Nomad got me a job. He's legit. Hit him up, check him out.
New York Nomad set me up in Vietnam.
Yo, my man got me a job. Come to Vietnam.
Hey, what's up, guys? You thinking about coming to Vietnam? You're not sure where to start. You've heard a lot of things online. You don't know what's true. You don't know what's not. We offer a consulting service where we help you get on your feet in Vietnam. We give you advice on negotiating contracts with employers. We help you with real estate agents, visa agents that are reliable and that you can trust. We help you get started in this amazing country and get on your feet. We help you get into different opportunities that might be more difficult for you if you were just landing in the country on your own. And we help you avoid a lot of the pitfalls and problems that you could have as a newcomer here. We provide you with reliable job recruiters, visa agents, real estate agents, and advice. If you guys are thinking about coming to Vietnam, hit us up for a consultation. We'll help you get started, help you get on your feet, and hopefully you'll love Vietnam as much as we do.